We sold our semi in Birmingham, gave up our jobs and moved to the Scottish borders to rescue this amazing Scots Baronial home. Now we're finding out if we can actually make it work.
I'm Stuart and this is Bess.
And this week we have some amazing progress to share as well as some big decisions. Welcome to Turrets and Crow Steps.
There's a reason that Super Greg is called Super Greg, and you're about to see why. So while I've been slowly planting hedges and clearing out the coach house, back at the cottage, Greg has been hard at work just transforming the place. So I'm excited to show you how far it's come in the last couple of weeks.
A few weeks ago we found out we wouldn't have to demolish the Groom's cottage, which means instead of knocking it down, we now have a second restoration project on our hands. It'll be somewhere family and friends can stay while the main house is being restored, and maybe one day an Airbnb. The hallway is probably the best example of what we've done everywhere. Behind the paper was thin, badly fixed plaster board where the nails had started to work loose, and there was some pretty questionable workmanship, like missing beads on the corner of plasterboard. About 1,000 screws, a lot of multi-finish and 4 coats of paint later, and it finally feels proper and solid. Good progress. The lounge was hiding even more behind thick textured wallpapers. Managed to get 2 coats on, but it's very thick, the paint, and very wet, so we diluted it because it was kind of a mist coat. So you can see everything's soaking and the whole atmosphere is really humid. So while it's it's just on the surface, so we're going to leave it for the night to dry out, let the dust settle out of the air a bit. Everything is just covered in a fine mist of paint and white powder. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly looking a lot cleaner than it did, and excited to put the final coats on tomorrow. Lots more work to do, but yeah, really good fun. I'm loving the paint spraying tool, it's really good. So this week I spent quite a long time trying to work out how to make this fireplace into a very fire safe space, because I just wasn't sure what was here before, so I wanted to make sure that this is just going to be bomb proof and cause us no problems in the future. It's lovely to have a log burner, but you know, they do come with their own risks and complexities, so we just wanted to make sure that this was safe and set up to work. So I put in here lots of fire rated boards at the top. We've taken back any plaster, any covering, so that everything is non-combustible near the fire. And then we're just putting a layer of tiles onto here with proper fire safe adhesive. So that's looking good, but what we've learned is that actually it's really complicated to match these pattern tiles across lots of different surfaces and actually have everything line up. So ideally you'd want all the patterns to line up across here, across their back, across the sides, all of the joints to match up in a perfect world, so that nothing catches your eye, and that on the corners here you'd have some kind of repeating pattern that would kind of work around the corner, so it kind of flowed visually. But that's just not going to happen, because it's actually impossible to do that. So somewhere along the line you've got compromises, and the original plan was to just cut these tiles down and go up. That makes sense. So just cut these tiles down where they need to go, roll them around the corner. And the problem with this is that you've got like a funny stray bit of pattern on the inside of there. So we didn't like that very much. So maybe you could do like half a tile wide. So do it something like this. So you've just got half a tile. But then we figured out that if you've only got half a tile here, then the starting point when you get to the top, when you get to this part at the top here, is further in. So that if you do further in on this side and further in on this side, when it gets to the middle, then you've not got enough space to actually get the tiles to join up. So the half tile idea doesn't work. So we're kind of back to the full tile idea. But then when you get to the top with a full tile, you end up with a pattern at the top of the fireplace, which looks like this, which is not too bad, but it looks a bit odd because you've got lots of half circles, and the pattern actually is supposed to look like circles. So yeah, my head's hurting. We spent far too long thinking about it and figuring it out. Yeah, I just wanted to share the pain and also share that I'm never ever buying pattern tiles for a fireplace again, because it's just impossible to make it work.
As always, the bathroom is a small room, but there's lots and lots of work in here. So even though the original bathroom was actually okay, some of the plasterboarding and the joints and tapes weren't in great condition. So we just thought it was worth stripping it all back, getting it plastered, moving around some of the plumbing under the floor, and tanking everything so it's completely waterproof. Once it had a good lick of paint, it was time for some tiling, and these green tiles just looked amazing. Porcelain floor tiles are big but very thick and really hard to get through, so it took a lot of cutting and a lot of time, and then laying them down on a good thick bed of adhesive, because they're going to be pretty heavy traffic. These little levelling spaces are pretty smart as well, just to hold everything so it's perfectly flat. So like the bathroom, the kitchen was in okay condition. The ceiling had been plastered recently and one of the walls. So we're just putting a coat of paint on it for now. We are going to fit a new kitchen in there and really make the most of the space, because it is actually a great kitchen space with a nice view. So we're looking forward to really making this kind of highlight of the house. We've made amazing progress in a really short space of time, and it's thanks largely to Super Greg, but also to the paint sprayer, which has been amazing again. So we've got a completely blank, clean canvas to start turning this into a warm, welcoming accommodation for our friends and family and guests. But now everything's so clean and white, we just can't work out what to do with this front door. We either need to replace it, or to paint it, or to just really clean it up and live with it, but we just can't decide. As it's quite a big investment, so we'd love to know what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.